The Doosan Bears take on the Kia Tigers, 5 a.m. East. The Bears are minus 150, totals 11.5 flat. The Tigers are plus $1.15 to win it. And if you like Kia to cover, they're minus 143 catching the 1.5. And following Thursday's 3-1 day on Patreon, I improved to 6-2 in my last 8 daily best plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. And of course, that's a website where I sell sports picks beginning at just $1.99. We're also 6-2 in our last 8 extra daily pick tier package plays as well. And that package only costs $2.99. For more information about getting access to these premium sports picks, link for that website is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/Brock Page. The Tigers dropped 2 out of their last 4, including a 5-0 shutout loss to the 6th place Lions. Matter of fact, they dropped 2 out of 3 games in that series with Samsung, losing 8-7 in one of those other games. And despite being in 4th place in the league right now, things are very, very tight in the standings as Kia finds themselves only 4 games ahead of the 8th place Lotte Giants. So no real margin for error in the very crowded KBO standings right now. Now the Bears on the other side, they're still 10 games above 500, and they are in 2nd place in the league. They're 36-26 on the year, and they won 2 out of their last 3 ball games. Matter of fact, the Bears gave up just 2.6 runs per contest on average in their last 3. They're also 4-3 straight up in their last 7, including a 6-0 shutout victory over the LG Twins. Doosan's won their last 3 straight series as well. And when it comes to the total in this one, the Bears' last 3 straight stayed under the total of 11.5 runs. 5 out of their last 7 also stayed under that number. Meanwhile, on the other side, 3 out of Kia's last 4 stayed under the 11.5 themselves. 4 out of their last 6 also stayed under the 11.5. Give me the Doosan Bears winning this one outright and the under 11.5 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Saturday's KBO baseball action. But before we dive into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you that following our 3-1 day on Thursday on my Patreon website, and after yesterday's sports wagering action, we improved to 6-2 in our last 8 daily best plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. We're also 6-2 in our last 8 extra daily pick tier package selections as well. If you want some more information on how you can join in on the action, a link for that website is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/Brock Page. We'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. Moving on, the Hanwha Eagles take on the LG Twins. 5 a.m. Eastern first pitch. The Twins are the $2.50 favorite. Totals 9.5 flat. The Eagles are plus $1.80 to win it. And if you like the Eagles to keep it close, they're minus $1.18 on the run line. Hanwha was shut out 8-0 earlier this morning by the LG Twins. They've lost 3 out of their last 4, and they scored just 3 total runs in those losses. Hanwha's averaging just 3.1 runs per contest in their last 18 games. They're nearly 30 games under 500 at 17-46 on the year. That's a win percentage of just .270. Needless to say, Hanwha's currently in last place in the 10-team KBO. They lost 7 out of their last 9 series. Hanwha's taking on an LG squad who's won 2 out of their last 3, including a 9-3 victory over the Lotte Giants. The Twins have scored 27 total runs in their last 3 straight. They're currently 3 games above 500 and just 3.5 games behind the Doosan Bears for 2nd place in the league. Now, total-wise, 2 out of the Twins' last 4 stayed under the total of 9.5 runs. Meanwhile, the Eagles on the other side saw 5 out of their last 6 stay under the 9.5 themselves. 11 out of their last 15 also stayed under that number. Give me the LG Twins minus 1.5 and the under 9.5 in that game. Moving on, our next contest, KT Wiz versus the NC Dinos, 5 a.m. Eastern start time. The Dinos are the $4.50 favorite, heavily favored in that one. Totals 10.5 flat. The Wiz are plus $3 for an upset win. And if you like KT to cover, they're plus 145, catching the run and a half. The Wiz are 4-1 with a tie in their last 6. They beat Hanwha and Samsung during that stretch. They also had an incredible run over the past few weeks, 12-4 with a tie in their last 17. That's good for 75% during that span. The Wiz have also given up just 3.2 runs per contest in their last 4. They're 5.5 games behind the Doosan Bears for second place in the standings, right in the mix there. They also won their last 6 straight series. They're taking on a Dino squad who, despite being in first place, they've been victorious in just 1 out of their last 5. And that includes 2 losses to the Kiwoom Heroes. And when it comes to the total in this one, the Dinos saw their last 2 straight stay under the total of 9.5 runs. 6 out of their last 9 also stayed under that number. Meanwhile, on the Wiz side of things, their last 4 straight stayed under the 10.5 themselves. Give me the KT Wiz plus 1.5 and the under 10.5 in that game. All right, next matchup, it is going to be the Kiwoom Heroes squaring off against the SK Wyverns, 5 a.m. East. The Heroes are minus 160, totals 10.5, slightly juiced to the over. The Wyverns are plus $1.25 on the money line. And if you like the Wyverns to cover, they're minus 133, catching the 1.5 on the run line. Now, the Wyverns lost 2 out of their last 3, and that includes a 7-2 loss to the Doosan Bears. The Wyverns, they've also given up 27 runs in their last 4 outings. SK is currently 23 games under 500 and just 3 games ahead of the last place Hanwha Eagles. SK's 20-43 record is good for a win percentage of just .317. They also lost their last 3 straight series and posted a record of just 6-12 in their last 18 ball games. The Heroes on the other side, they've won 2 out of their last 4, including a couple of victories over the NC Dinos during that span. They beat the Dinos 7-4 and 5-1 respectively in those 2 wins. Kiwoom's officially 10 games above 500, and they won 8 out of their last 10 series. Very impressive stat there. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Kiwoom's last 3 got over the total of 10.5 runs. 5 out of their last 7 also got over that number. Meanwhile, the Wyverns on the other side saw 2 out of their last 4 get over the 10.5 themselves. Give me the Kiwoom Heroes minus 1.5, getting the job done on the run line, and the over 10.5 in that game. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be the Lotte Giants versus the Samsung Lions, 5 a.m. Eastern start. The Lions are minus 175, totals 10.5 flat. The Giants are plus 135 to win it. And if you like the Giants to keep it within 1.5, they're minus 150 on the run line. Lotte's given up 34 total runs in their last 3 games. They dropped 2 out of those 3 contests. They lost to the Lions earlier this morning by the final of 15-10, while also giving up 10 runs in their contest before that. The Giants lost 3 out of their last 6 and find themselves allowing 8 runs per contest on average during that stretch. Lotte's currently 2 games below 500, and they find themselves in the bottom half of the standings in 8th place. Now, Samsung on the other side, they have been victorious in 3 out of their last 4 themselves. They beat the Kia Tigers twice during that span. The Lions scored 28 total runs in those 3 victories. Samsung still remains 3 games above 500, and they are just 3.5 games behind the second place Doosan Bears in the standings. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Samsung's last 6 got over the total of 10.5 runs. 8 out of their last dozen also got over the 10.5. Meanwhile, on the other side, Lotte saw their last 3 straight get over that number themselves, while also 4 out of their last 6 got over the 10.5 as well. So with all that said and done, give me the Samsung Lions minus 1.5 and the over 10.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. And from Patreon, shout out to Darren Windsor, Apurva Dungana, Jake DeLuca, Alan Kennedy, John Kirkland, Robert Morelli, August Weens, Stephen Madrid, Carlos Balderas, and Jose Gonzalez. Next, shout outs from our Instagram platform. Got to give a shout out to Keaton Johnson, Will Slade, Jay Martinez, Aesthetic Arts, Carl Freestyle. Also want to give a shout out to Jeet Sharma, Bubba Jonesy, Elise Lucky, John Lee Rodriguez, and Wundu Kwembe. And finally, from our YouTube platform, shout out goes to Ralph Portuando, SOP Striker, Bo Dunn, Ryan Thomas, DK Hater Gaming, Vberry 1923, Austin Tyler, Tommy T, Domingo Alvis, and last but certainly not least, gotta give a shout out to my guy, Valentin Anakili. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I gotta thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Friday or Saturday to you. Depending on when you're watching this, best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.